My old gang life caught up to my son when he was just 14 years old. I thought I had left everything behind 6 years ago. After doing time for gun possession, I cleaned up completely, got a construction job, stayed away from old friends, focused on raising my boy Jason. I never hid my past from him, but I made sure he understood the mistakes I made and why he needed different choices. We lived in a quiet neighborhood outside the city, not too far from where I grew up, but far enough. I kept my head down, worked hard, came home every night. Jason was a good kid, played basketball at school, decent grades, respectful. Everything I wanted to be at his age. One Tuesday night changed everything. Jason was walking home from basketball practice when this car rolled up behind him. 3 guys jumped out. One of them recognized him immediately as Little Ice's kid. That was my old street name from back in the day. They beat him senseless right there in our driveway. Left him bloody and unconscious. Neighbors found him 20 minutes later. Jason spent 2 days in the hospital with a fractured jaw and a concussion. When he finally could talk, he told me exactly what they said while they were hitting him. "Tell your daddy we remember him." I went straight to the police, filed a report, gave them everything I knew about how these crews operated. But without witnesses or security footage, they couldn't do anything. The detective basically told me to keep my head down and hope it didn't happen again. For 2 weeks, I slept on the couch with a baseball bat. I installed motion lights around the house, told Jason to call me the second school ended. I was trying to handle this the right way, but I could feel the old anger building up inside me. Then Jason's backpack turned up sliced open in the middle of the street. His textbooks were destroyed. His phone was gone. That same night, someone spray-painted "Snitch Son" across our garage door in red letters. My neighbors started avoiding eye contact when I walked outside. I knew exactly what was happening. They were testing me, seeing if I would break, if I would come back to the streets to handle this myself. That's how they pulled people back in. They hurt your family until you had no choice but to pick up a gun. But I had learned something during my time inside. Violence only creates more violence. If I went after these kids, Jason would never be safe. There would always be someone else looking for payback. Instead, I made a call to someone I never thought I would speak to again. Rico ran a community outreach program now. Used to be my biggest rival back in the day, but he had gotten out the same way I did. Started working with kids, trying to keep them off the streets. I swallowed my pride and asked for help. Rico didn't hesitate. He set up a meeting at Jason's school, not just for the parents, but for the kids too. Anyone who wanted to come could come. The night of the meeting, I stood up in front of about 60 people and told my story. The real story. I talked about how I joined a gang when I was 15 because I thought it would make me respected. How I spent my 20s in and out of jail. How I missed most of Jason's childhood because I was locked up. And I explained how my past had just put my son in the hospital. Some of the kids in that room knew exactly who had jumped Jason. A few parents recognized the names when other families started sharing similar stories. By the end of the night, 3 different people had information for the police. One of the boys who attacked Jason was sitting in the back row with his grandmother. When I finished talking, she grabbed his ear and marched him to the front of the room. Made him apologize to Jason and me in front of everyone. The kid was expelled the next day after 2 other students finally came forward about other incidents. The other 2 moved away when their parents realized what they were involved in. But the real victory came 3 months later. That same kid who apologized started showing up to Rico's youth basketball program. His grandmother brought him every Saturday. He never caused trouble again, and Jason even started talking to him at school. 6 years later, Jason is in college on an academic scholarship. That kid who beat him up, he works at a community center now, helping other kids stay out of gangs.